films, Broadway, and television. Academy Award and Golden Globe winner George Chakiris is best known internationally for his role as Bernardo in West Side Story.
How did you meet George?
When the museum opened, we met George, and he was so kind. And I myself have been a fan of his since as long as I can remember. So it was very exciting for us to make this friendship.
Can you share something about the birthday cake? What will it be?
It's all of George's favorites.
Thank you so much for stopping by, Donelle. George, I can't believe it that you are 90, but you look 60. So what is your secret?
Well, I don't have a secret, but I just lucky with my genes. I think maybe that's it. The other thing I think about in terms of feeling good and all of that is because most of my life I've exercised, been a dancer, using my whole body, and a day without a class wasn't a good day. And also what exercise does for you, when you exercise, it helps your mental state, and it gives you the endorphins that lift your spirit as well. So and of course it's important for us to keep moving, I think. But it's that, and then I think I'm blessed too with good genes from both my parents. My mother lived to be 104. And my father not quite so much, and my mother's father was 108. So maybe,
So we're going to celebrate for another 30 years, right?
We'll see what happens. That won't happen, but I wouldn't mind.
So your actual birthday is tomorrow, right?
Yes.
How will you spend the big day? Because we're celebrating here, but what will you do in private?
You know, I have never in my life have I ever celebrated any birthday. I don't know why. I just never thought of it. It's another day. So with this beautiful evening tonight, and on the 7th, not tomorrow, but the day after my birthday, someone else is doing an evening for me. So I'm going to take my real birthday tomorrow and just be quiet.
One more question, because I know that you're going to be busy tonight. So you played Bernardo in the film, but you earned the Oscar for, but in the West Side Story, of course. And you also had a lot of theater performances, so you were on stage. What was the difference, and what you like better, filming or being on stage?
Well, everything starts with good material. The material is the most important thing, but as an experience, as a professional experience, I love being in the theater, being on stage. It started that way with West Side. That was my first time with West Side, was in the theater in London with Chita Rivera. Anyway, so theater work is just being in the theater and having that experience with an audience. And the great thing about it, because the audience kind of lets you know how you're doing, if they're with you or not. So it's you can never predict what a theater experience will be like. Every night is different, and that's the other thing that's beautiful about it too, because it's always fascinating. Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Thank you.
So we are here today to celebrate someone very special, George. Please share about your connections.
Okay, well, I'm from the musical theater. When I was very young, I started around 18 years old, and I already knew this man, George Chakiris, because, oh my God, the magic of him in the film, the original film of West Side Story. I come from the musical theater. I started in the musical theater when I was 18. And George Chakiris, come on. When you saw him on West Side Story, the original one, he was so magnificent. No one dances like him. And he was and still is, so sexy. 90 years old. Cannot believe it. People don't know that he played London on the stage as another character, and I hadn't known that. He did in West Side Story, and then they brought him to play Bernardo. Fabulous man.
Would you like to dance with him tonight?
Yes, I'd like him to dance with me or do anything else with me.
It's me, Tyrone Dubois from TV One's Unsung and Sure Underwood podcast. I am absolutely shocked, but I think the biggest shock for me is the fact that this guy still looks like he's in his 40s and 50s, and he's walking and moving around like it's not even a big deal. But when you think of him, you think of him as a legend, because that's what he is.
That's very true. How do you remember his big movie, The West Side Story? What is your memory about it?
The musical aspect of it. I mean, it was a lot of moving, a lot of dancing, a lot of stuff that I couldn't do then and that I couldn't do now.
Yes, and please update about yourself a little bit. What is your next project? What are you doing now?
My pilot called Do You Know is getting close to completion. I'm really excited. I feel like it's a labor of love and things are going really great.
Fantastic, and thank you so much for stopping by, and please enjoy the birthday party.
I most certainly will. Thank you so much.
And share your social media.
Absolutely. Tyrone Dubois or rnbhistorian.com.
Thank you. First of all, how was the Emmys?
The Emmys was amazing. I thought Keenan did a great job. I was there. I got to meet some fabulous stars on the red carpet and dance with Lizzo and the girls at the governor's ball. I had the best time.
That's fantastic. It sounds great. I saw your pictures. But today we are here again, and another celebration is going on because we're celebrating George Chakiris. His birthday is her 90th birthday. So please share your thoughts about him. How do you remember him? When did you meet him?
George Chakiris I know from here at the Hollywood Museum, but of course from West Side Story. He's timeless, he's ageless, he's an Oscar winner, a Golden Globe winner. He is the epitome of old Hollywood, so it's just only fitting that we're celebrating his 90th birthday at the Hollywood Museum tonight.
Do you remember, what is your private memory about the West Side Story?
Well, I loved Maria and the romance, the Romeo and Juliet romance of West Side Story. And then Bernardo and Anita and how much fun they were and all the dancing. And that's what George does. He brought that character to life and he made the guys we were supposed to be scared of lovable. You know, the rival gangs, the tough guys. He made them romantic and sexy and lovable. Like I wanted one for me.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll let you go because the celebration is already started.
Now to begin, we got to sing happy birthday to George.
Yes. Hi, nice to meet you again. And today you are very elegant because we are celebrating George Chakiris.
George is a very elegant man. I had to come elegant tonight because he is the best. Just forget the talent, forget the ridiculous good looks. His heart, his soul just beams with love, and that's why I love him, and he's a wonderful friend to me and to all of you out there. How many millions and millions of people has he entertained? What a pleasure to be at the Hollywood Museum honoring his 90th birthday. The man looks 50, maybe.
Yes, exactly. So I already asked him about his secrets. So anyway, share something about you and update your upcoming event.
Well, every week Geoffrey Mark Plays Ella is on radio stations around the country and on podcasts. The Lucy book is coming out next year, the new Lucy book, and so are my memoirs. The Devil Was Born in Brooklyn. So 2 new books out next year, hopefully an album, definitely a singing tour if COVID gets better, and whenever I can be at the Hollywood Museum.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Please share your social media.
Sure, Geoffrey Mark on Facebook, Geoffrey Mark Showbiz on Instagram, at Geoffrey Mark on Twitter, and I'll come out of your electric toothbrush if you ask me to.
Thank you so much.
You know, really wanting to be home right now, because I think unless you're British, it's really hard to understand what she meant to us, because what she provided was a constant. She's been the monarch my entire life, and I'm 56 years old, and I'm not ashamed to say that on camera, you know, so thank God we had such an example. She provides stability, and in this ever-changing, crazy world, which we got to move whichever way the wind is blowing, we need that. So I think Charles will do a great job, and then William after him, and the monarchy is that, like, I studied English history, it is so important. And if you don't understand it, study some history. It's a dying thing that we need to hold on to for as long as possible.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by, and please share your social media.
Alice Amter Official on Instagram.
Thank you.
In November of 2012, George received what many refer to as one of the highest honors in Hollywood, his hand and footprints that were placed in cement in connection with the 50th anniversary of the classic film West Side Story, which premiered, would you believe, at the Bronx Chinese Theater over 50 years ago. And today we can find them in the forecourt for all to see.